Sit back and relax as today's program guides you through all things pop culture and the deepest corners of the internet. Warning, may cause brain rot. Hello, guys, and welcome back to Brain Rot. I'm your host, Maya, and today we're getting into it. It is the season of love. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and I'm really feeling the vibes this year for some reason. I know you would think, oh, Maya, you're single, tragically so, living that celibate life right now in this moment. But guess what? It doesn't matter because I feel like my obsession with it is more about the aesthetics and more about the vibes and the self-love and just like the possibility. As a hopeless romantic, I feel like love is always just around the corner. And so I'm definitely someone who is optimistic that way. And I feel almost more at peace at Valentine's being single because even when you're in a relationship, it's like stressful trying to think of something meaningful to do for your partner or to receive something from your partner and be like, is it going to be something I actually like? Do they know me? Or will this be a cringe factor? So I will share some funny little Valentine's stories with you guys today. But also, we're going to talk about many pop culture things like the Grammys, which just happened. I'll give you some of my reviews on my opinions on red carpet looks and stuff like that. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about how it was a little bit political at the Grammys with trans rights being on the front line. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the stuff going on with the tariffs and Trump and all that kind of stuff. Just a little bit, peppering it in. We do like to keep it light and fun here and not be too serious. But I am also a little bit off put by some of the comments I received on my previous podcast and how opinionated people are about me having opinions and defending people like myself, trans women. Like, hello, of course I'm going to talk on certain topics, I'm not going to just stay silent and keep my head down. No, thank you. That's not the way I roll. But without further ado, let's get into it. Supporting today's podcast episode is none other than Lelo. Lelo is the luxury adult toy company. I absolutely love them. I've worked with them for years and I've been in love with all of their products. They are designer. They are so beautiful. They are made from super premium silicone. They're very safe for your body and they have many different features and functions that make sure you have maximum pleasure. Right now, I am advertising the Soraya beads. This is an anal beads massager. It's gentle because it's got different beads with different girths on them so that you can do whatever level you're comfortable with. Perfect for solo play and with partners. And right now, Lelo is having a super crazy Valentine's deal, up to 50% off some of their products. And with my coupon code in my description box, you can get an additional 10% off as well. So you better be rushing there because you want to elevate your Valentine's this year, whether you are solo or you are partnered up. You need to take things to the next level, keep things spicy, and explore new things in the bedroom. The Soraya beads is also a gender neutral anal beads toy, which means that it is perfect for any anatomy, whether you're accessing the prostate or you're accessing the A spot or the G spot. This will hit all of it for you. One thing I love about Lelo is that they are all about gender inclusivity and breaking barriers. We all have different anatomies and different things work for us. This toy is perfect for accessing your P spot, which is the prostate spot, 2 inches past the sphincter, the anal sphincter. And then it's also perfect for accessing the A spot, which is a couple inches past the G spot in people with vaginas. Not only that, I really do believe that these look like little sculptures and works of modern art. I think they're so classy and chic, and they are my absolute favorite aesthetic for toys. This has a bowing motion and 8 different vibration settings that will take you where you need to go. I also just wanted to quickly mention the Lelo Love Bridge feature on their app. You can create naughty chat rooms with your long distance relationships and keep things spicy in the bedroom while also connecting some of their luxury toys to the app and remote controlling the devices from afar for extra layers of intimacy and breaking down the barriers of distance. Once again, I also have a code in my description box that will give you an additional 10% off your order this Valentine's. Throw away the chocolates, let the rose petals fall, and pull out a Lelo Soraya beads today. So last night was music's biggest awards show, the Grammys, and the stars were not in short supply. I, they hit the red carpet, and we're going to do a little review on some of their outfits and what I think about them. We haven't really done something like this on this podcast before, but I feel like it's so fun and cute. I'm not going to be too harsh, but I'm definitely going to be honest, as I always am. So first up, we have Taylor Swift here, and she is rocking a vintage looking, almost like muffin bang, almost like curtain bang vibe. And she has this little showgirl outfit on with sparkles, and she has her classic red lip that she has never let go of for like 10 years. I kind of feel like this is giving like a Sabrina Carpenter tour outfit vibe, and even the hair is giving a little bit of Sabrina Carpenter. So to me, I'm not that impressed with it necessarily. I think that she could have made things a little more grand, especially considering how short the dress is. I just feel like it looks like she's about to start a cabaret show or something. So it's not my favorite look personally. Do I think she looks bad? Not by any means, but it's just not really doing anything for me. And I just feel like the red lip is kind of dated. I feel like it ages her a little bit just in terms of staying relevant with what's popular in fashion today. So for me, this is a fashion miss. I don't think it's terrible, but it's just not anything to write home about. Next, we have Paris Hilton, and she's wearing this long golden number. I don't mind it. It's kind of giving like an Elvis vibe to me. I don't know why. It looks kind of fun and groovy. I'm not obsessed with it, but I think it's fun and something different for her. It's not her usual like super pink Barbie aesthetic, so I think it works. But I don't know. It's not my 100% favorite. It's giving 70s though, and I do like the sunglasses. I think it adds that nice like Memphis Elvis touch to it, so it works. Again, not my favorite. And then we have Glorilla, and I don't know. Again, the dress is cut really nicely and I think it looks good, but I just feel like this is the same kind of silhouette that we just saw on Taylor Swift, just in gold, and it has a little bit more draping and a longer hem to it, but it's the same like constructed bustier top vibe with like the pointy, the pointy neckline and everything. It's not really like anything crazy. Like I'm not looking at this thinking, "Oh my God, amazing." Then we have Victoria Monet. I think this is fun. It kind of is giving Dune or like Star Wars kind of vibes. I don't love the cutouts. I feel like it's awkwardly shaped, and then it makes her look a little bit more boxy than what she actually is. I think that the stripe in the middle, like the fabric in the middle where it's not cut out, I think that could have been thicker and more curvaceous and not just so like triangular, in my opinion. But other than that, I think it's fine. I like her hair. Next, we have Janelle Monáe, and I absolutely love this one. I think it's so cool. I think it's giving me almost like a retro 80s vibe. It's kind of like giving a little bit of, I don't know, is it Prince meets Boy George meets, I don't know. It's just giving something, It's fun, it's cute. I love that she always plays up these suits. I think it's really beautiful to see a woman who can wear a suit so confidently and with such striking features, and she's so talented. So I really like this one. This might be my favorite one so far. Next we have Cynthia Erivo, and I'm not obsessed with this one. Also, again, she's kind of giving me an intergalactic vibe. Like she would be the head of the council in like Star Wars. Like she'd be speaking with Emperor Palpatine or something. Like that's the vibe it's giving me. It's kind of fun in like a sci-fi kind of way, but in general, I'm just like not obsessed with it necessarily. Next, we have Alicia Keys. I don't really like this one at all. I feel like the shape of it is weird. The earrings are so enormous, and clearly that's the statement, but I feel like it's really competing with the corset that she has on. Like it's supposed to complement each other, but then her dress is just so black, it just fades into the background against the contrast. And then on top of that, she also has a headband on, and I just feel like it's not working. There's just too many things happening at once, and then the actual garment is like a completely lost shadow. It just doesn't really work for me. And then we have Lotto, and Lotto is wearing like a classic, almost old Hollywood style, so it always is gonna work for me. I don't love the hair. I feel like she could have gone for a little more diva down moment, a huge like beautiful 70s wave over this slick back high bun. It just doesn't really work for me, but the actual outfit is gorgeous. It's very like Marilyn Monroe. It's kind of giving this outfit that Spears wore back in the early 2000s. So I do like it. It's very cute. Then we have Lady Gaga. She's back in her dark pop era. I love this fit. I love her hair. I love everything about it. I'm obsessed. The structuring on the dress is gorgeous. So gothic. And I love the knot of the hair. It's giving that Asian hairstyle. What's it called? I can't remember. You guys can remind me in the comments, but it's giving that Asian style of haircut, and I think it's so beautiful. It reminds me of some of the Vogue covers that she was doing in Japan, I think, or maybe it was Mugler. I can't remember. It was something back when she was doing her Born This Way era. So cute and so dark and mysterious. I love it. Obsessed. Next, we have J Balvin. I think this is fun. I think it's cool. I like that he's doing something different. It's like a creepy trench coat kind of vibe. It's almost giving like the Penguin and Batman. And I just like that it's something different. I like that he's not afraid to step out of his box and do something other than what, the average guys are doing. Then we have Shabuzi. I'm not a fan of this one personally. I just think it looks really messy. I'm not sure what the goal was with that scarf that's like kind of made from fringe. And then the suit just doesn't look like it fits very well. It's like crimping up in really weird places. And I just feel like the black underneath is just completely disappearing. So he looks like a disembodied torso. It's just not working for me. Sorry. And his little collar is giving like vicar. It's giving priest. Next, we have Heidi Klum. I think it's a very classic look for her. The dress is like very obviously like bombshell vibes, but I'm not like blown away. It's nothing new, nothing crazy. It's kind of looks like something that also like J-Lo might wear. So just very like 2010 kind of vibe, not very like 2025. And then we have Miley Cyrus. I think she looks amazing. Her hair is so avant-garde looking. It kind of reminds me of Lady Gaga's a little bit, just like the blonde version of it. And I think her dress is cute. I think it works. I think it's got that edge to it. It's very simple, but I think the cutout works really nicely. And I think overall it looks like it fits quite well. I do think it looks like it's bagging up a little bit in the crotch area, but I think that's what happens with that silhouette sometimes. That's what happens to me too. So, I mean, I think it still works. It looks gorgeous and I like it. Next, we have Cardi B. I don't mind Cardi B's dress. I think it's fun. It's not the best she's ever worn. It's kind of a forgettable look really, but I think it fits her well. I think the silhouette's really nice. I'm not crazy about the texture of the dress. It looks very sequiny and then to feathers, but it works. I think it's like kind of got that like tiger bird vibe to it, and it's very like predatory diva behavior. So I think it works. Next we have Coco Jones. Sorry, just not a fan of this one. I don't think it looks like it fits very nicely. I don't like the structure of it. It kind of looks like something you could buy on Shein, and it's not my vibe. Yeah, that's just it, plain and simple. It just doesn't work for me. It looks like something you'd wear on the beach. Next, we have Madison Beer. I'm kind of confused by this one. Again, I don't think it has the best silhouette to it for her. And the way that the train is gathered, it looks very stiff and frumpy. It looks very, very vintage in a not good way. Like she cracked it out of a wardrobe from the 1950s and didn't steam it or something. Something just looks very off about it. I don't like that it is so sheer and you can see the bodysuit underneath. It just looks kind of messy to me. And it looks like a garment that's like not completed. Does that make sense? I just don't understand the elements and how they're working together. I don't like it. Next, we have Olivia Rodrigo. Now, this is kind of a similar dress to the one that Miley Cyrus is wearing, but Miley Cyrus's was more interesting because it was more textural. It had the leather aspect to it, and it had a story to tell. I kind of feel, again, like Olivia Rodrigo's dress looks like it could be something that was purchased from Shein. It's not really giving me anything crazy. I don't love it. I'm not obsessed with it. There's like nothing super crazy unique about it, and it does not look expensive. She looks good. It's just like not. It's not Grammys material, in my opinion. Next, we have Doechii. Now, I understand she's going for something different. It's not really my vibe. It just doesn't work for me. Looks awkward. I don't like that it's like a weird mix of super tomboy, like on top with like the tie and the shoulder area, and then all of a sudden you have like the BBL hip pads. Like it just doesn't work for me. I feel like it looks very garish, and I don't know. Like this would have worked more for me if it was a pantsuit. You could still keep the dress line, but keep it more of like a pantsuit kind of vibe. And maybe do like a crazy heel instead of whatever platform Doc Martin looking shoes she's wearing. I don't know. For me, it's like an awkward mix of masculine and feminine, and I feel like it could be more seamless. And even the way she's posing, it just seems really wooden and stiff, so it's not working for me. Next, we have Charlie XCX. I love this. It's very Charlie XCX. It's glam, it's diva. It's also a little dressed down when it comes to the hair and the makeup. I think it's very her. It's giving like renaissance of club culture, and I think it really resonates with her music and where she's at right now. I really like it. I think the elements work together. She's not over structuring it with, like nylons and an updo and like crazy accessories. She's like dressing down this dress and letting it speak for itself. And it looks very fresh, neutral, and gorgeous. Next, we have Kali Uchis. I'm sorry if I'm butchering any of these names. I do really like this vibe. Like, I like the leopard print and stuff like that, but I don't know. Something's a little underwhelming for me. I think it's just the combo of the black pointed heel and the leopard print dress together. It's just not really giving red carpet. It's giving like going out for cocktails with the girls and being that mysterious woman in the cocktail lounge. It's not giving Grammys red carpet for me personally, but I do think it looks good. I think she looks great. Next, we have Troye Sivan. I think he looks so cute and fun. I think he's very much giving like twink vibes, and it's kind of almost giving like this is totally giving Timothy Chalamet as Willy Wonka, but like the twink version. I'm obviously like not obsessed with it, and I feel like it looks like it fits a little bit strangely. Like the blazer looks really large, and then the pants look kind of small. I'm not obsessed with it, but I think it gives a vibe for sure. It's interesting, something different. That's for sure. Next, we have Sabrina Carpenter. I do like her dress. I think it's cute. I like the shape of it. I'm not obsessed with the top part. It looks a little bit small for her torso. Like it looks like a nip slip's about to happen. I don't know if it's just this angle, but I think it's very on brand for her theme of this vintage glamour from Hollywood. And so I think it works. I do think it is kind of giving Pamela Anderson's hat from the 90s mixed with Dr. Seuss. But I think it works, and I think it's very glam diva, very Marilyn, and it's cute. And lastly, we have Chapel Roan, and she is wearing this gorgeous dress. I think it's so pretty. You guys know I love paintings on dresses and outfits. Like I have a cherub two-piece set that I love to wear, and I wore it on New Year's. I like the colors. She's like an art piece that just walks around, like she looks like she's from the painting from the Degas era. Is that Degas on her dress? I don't know. But she looks stunning. She looks great. I love that she goes full artistic. Her makeup is just giving drag in the best way. And I especially love what she had to say on the red carpet about trans rights and how we're not going to be silent for that. And I'll get into that a little bit more with Lady Gaga as well. But there's one final look or moment I want to talk about on the red carpet at the Grammys, and that was Bianca Censori and Kanye West. Now, this was the talk of the town because, of course, it was like shock value. She shows up to the red carpet and throws her coat down, and she's wearing just this thin see-through slip, if you can call it a dress, I don't know. And it's completely sheer, and you can see everything, booty hole, titties, vajayjay, everything on display. And Kanye, of course, is in his signature all black outfit and sunglasses standing next to her. And it's very much giving like exhibitionism. It's giving humiliation kink. And I'm not going to be judgy or shaming or anything like that because that's not me at all. But I do not quite understand the motives behind this. I feel like I would understand it in a different culture, but the way that American culture is now, I feel like it's an unoriginal shock value. I feel like over-sexualization is unoriginal in this context. And so I don't really understand the integrity behind a stunt like this on the red carpet. And I like many women, I've noticed, feel a little uncomfortable, like thinking about what goes into planning something like that and how consensual it is between the two parties. We don't know them or their relationship intimately, so I can't really speak to that, but it seems a little jarring to see the man fully clothed next to her and have her be on display like that and have her body be shown in such a vulnerable way. It doesn't feel empowering to see that because it is not even consensual with the viewer. And I just don't know what she's thinking or saying. And I almost feel like he doesn't want you to know that as part of whatever stunt they're pulling. Like, she doesn't have a voice. She almost wants to be portrayed as this like mannequin like body for him to do as he wishes. And so that's like another conversation, but I don't think it's like appropriate to have something like that on display in such a public event. I know it's technically illegal in California because it's indecent exposure. And obviously, they know what they're doing and they know what they're going for, and it's intentional. But I just feel like when you involve others in that form of lifestyle and sexuality, I think it can be bordering on the concept of non-consent. Like, we're not consenting to seeing that much of her or seeing that side of their relationship or what they're trying to accomplish, whether it's private or public conversation. It's, to me, no different than a man flashing people on the street in a trench coat, right? Like, she shows up in a fur coat, throws it on the ground, turns around, and she's fully naked and exposing herself to everyone. She knew what she was doing. That's why she wore the coat to the event. She knew it was going to cause shock. And perhaps it's all orchestrated and planned by Kanye. Some people think there could be a little bit of an abusive aspect there. We don't know their relationship. Some people claim she was, quote, always like this. We don't know at the end of the day, but all I know is I feel a bit uncomfortable. And it's not that I'm sexualizing her, because I'm not. I personally am not sexually attracted to women. And I can see the beauty of the female form. I have like sculptures around my apartment that are fully nude, and I think nudity is beautiful. But I think the context in which she is nude implies this exploited narrative. It's almost giving The Idol with The Weeknd, how he was that creepy manager guy. What was his name? I can't remember. The guy with the rat tail. And he was exploiting Lily Rose Depp's character and over sexualizing her and repeating trauma in that way. And it's kind of like a humiliation kink and all this stuff. And so I don't know. The way that this reads to me, it just kind of sends a weird message. And I don't really like it. I don't like the double standards that Kanye has had for Kim, where he's been vocally misogynistic about the way that she dresses now that she's a mother. And then he creates stunts like what we saw at the Grammys, which is in direct opposition with what he said to her and also his dating history. It's like you have to pick and choose a lane. And like, if you're going to be, free the nipple, full nudity, like fully sex positive, be that way, but don't have a different set of rules for different women when you can't control them, That to me is a little bit bordering on strange territory. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Now, as you guys know, I commented on some of the issues that are arising from the Trump administration regarding trans people. And since I've talked about the fact that they are removing the ability for you to alter your sex on your birth certificates or your passports and whatever in the US, they are also removing the T from LGBT on government websites. So they are literally erasing the acronym, which I think is so ridiculous and so crazy. Trans people are so queer adjacent. Even if you look at being transgender as not a sexuality and you separate it in that context, we are still part of a counterculture revolution of people who are queer. Many trans people do identify as being gay or bisexual or pansexual. Many trans people do start off being gay in their birth sex, but you know what I mean? It's like, why are we creating this divide? It's very much a tactic that a lot of oppressors do. They try to divide minorities so that we fight amongst each other, and we can't consolidate our thoughts and our rights in order to rise up against the powers that be. And so I think it's very telling that they removed the T from LGB, and it feels very dystopian. I think it's disturbed, and who gave you the right, I think that's crazy to me. And so a lot of people were, well, not a lot, but some people were being vocal at the Grammys. Thank you, Chapel Roan, and thank you, Lady Gaga, And also Charlie XCX, who worked so much with Sophie, who is a prolific trans music producer. I want to thank all of those powerful women in music and in the industry for talking about trans rights at the Grammys, because so many people are being silent these days because Trump won majority and people don't want to step on toes. People don't want to lose any People don't want to step on toes. People don't want to lose any of their fan base, and they are being too timid and shy in the face of oppression. And so I thank from the bottom of my heart you pop girlies who are out there advocating for us, because when you are part of a minority group that makes up 1% or less of the population wherever you're living, you are never going to be on equal footing unless you have allies that are in the 99%. Like we can advocate all we want, but because we are such small numbers, we are never going to be able to make real change until the 99% of people in the population are willing to be allies and accept us for who we are. And I was so disappointed by my comment section in my last podcast episode because I had so many regular viewers tuning in, just repeating jargon from headlines of far right conservatives and, the Trump administration, just regurgitating things like, oh, Donald Trump is doing what's right because I believe in him, and not providing any critical thought or arguments, or just telling me my opinions are wrong. Why do I feel the need to talk about politics? I shouldn't have an opinion on anything. I'm Canadian, or it's not my place. I'm dumb. Like just blanket statements that have no backing and no real argument. And I think it's so disappointing. And if you don't like women, and especially trans women who can speak up and have opinions and thoughts on topics that are affecting not only them, but everyone else, then I think you can unsubscribe to my channel, because first and foremost, I started this channel sharing my journey, and I'm not about to have my journey in my life and the people that I love have their rights trampled on and not say anything. I have friends in the US who are 100% affected by this, and we're also going to talk about the fact that Trump has joked about making Canada the 51st state of the USA. So even though I'm Canadian, we are very much embroiled in many issues now regarding the US because of Trump's election. He has now started a trade war with Canada, putting a 25% tax on Canadian goods in the USA. And we have now a counter tariff, putting a 25% tax on imported goods from the USA, which, if this war continues on for the next 5 to 6 months, economists are predicting that it could send Canada into a recession. And now Canada is one of the biggest exporters to the US of energy, aluminum, and lumber. And so the US is definitely going to need our products and our natural resources eventually. So hopefully we can come to some agreement and not live in fear of what this is going to mean for our gas prices or our food prices and all of that. But at the present moment, it's not looking good. And we ask ourselves, why are they imposing these tariffs? And it's been speculated that Trump has said there is illegal migrants coming from Canada and trafficking of illicit drugs like fentanyl. And he is arguing that Canada is not doing enough to prevent that from entering the USA. Meanwhile, the research shows that less than 1% of illegal migrants and trafficked illicit substances are coming across the border from Canada. So you're imposing 25% tariffs for less than 1% of your problem in your country. It makes no sense, right? We have to really hypothesize what the next moves could be. And he's already talking about annexing Greenland. Why would we not assume that his goals are to annex Canada? He wants to stifle Canada's economy. He wants to mess with our biggest ally and export-import partner. We make up North America, USA, and Canada. And so when you cut the supply chain in that way and you cause issues in that way, it's going to really affect the population here and force our hand eventually. Like, we are so small. We're 40 million people, like we cannot compare to the size of the USA. And it's almost a bullying tactic and a betrayal of Canadians, as we've had such a long-standing alliance. And so it kind of, in a very geopolitical way, hurts my feelings that this is happening. It's kind of sad to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm kind of a little stressed and worried, but I'm just trying to keep my head up and not think about it too much. And I don't want to get too political because I am no economist, I am no political science major, but these are real things that are affecting the everyday person. And so I feel like I do have to talk about them. And I am concerned for the future of trans rights in North America because what does happen in the US often ripples into Canada as well. Now back to the season of love. I want to describe my like ideal Valentine's solo, just by myself, no man in my life. What would my ideal Valentine's be? I would honestly say maybe like going out for dinner with the girls, having a little Galentine's moment, having a little bit of wine. And then when I'm done socializing and whatever, head back home. Maybe have some kind of like dessert that's like really nice. Like maybe you have a molten lava cake in your fridge or like an ice cream cake or fresh baked cookies with ice cream, just something like delicious and simple. Maybe make yourself a really nice bath with a bath bomb and have candles going and just play like romantic music and just like serenade yourself in like a loving kind of way. Maybe you have a favorite book you're reading or a movie or something. I feel like doing any of those things would be so amazing on Valentine's and just like having that self-love moment. I think that's so peaceful and so cute. And I very much am in my like single era. I'm enjoying it actually at this moment. I don't know why. I just feel a little bit of peace. Sometimes I go through cycles. Sometimes I'm like manic and I'm like, oh my God, like I haven't had any male attention and blah, blah, blah. I'm like losing my mind. I feel like I've been like a spinster in my apartment for so long, like I'm almost 30. When am I going to find my soulmate? But then I started reframing things as I said I wanted to do. And I started thinking about how much peace I have and how just doing what I want to do when I want to do it is so nice. And the option is always there. I live in the biggest city in Canada. And every time I go out, I talk and meet new people. And, there's always opportunity to find a partner. And so I realized I actually don't need or want a partner in this moment. And not chasing something that doesn't exist currently is very healthy for me mentally because when you make the goal to find a partner, sometimes you can overlook a lot of the incompatibilities that you have so that you can glamorize the idea of having a relationship more than the actual person you're with. I feel like it's so much more organic to not necessarily be looking for a relationship, but to accidentally find one because the person that you have got to know is so right for you, rather than chasing the idea of being in a relationship. And I feel like with the dating apps, I very much was looking for a partner, And so then you're like, okay, can I make it work with this person versus do I like this person enough that I would want them to be my partner, So it can go both ways, but I think that that is where I'm at right now. And it's giving me peace of mind. And I feel just more regulated that way. Once again, I wanted to remind you guys about Lelo and the Soraya beads that I have. Luxurious adult toy company. They are doing up to 50% off for Valentine's, and you can use my code for an additional 10% off. It's all in the description box down below. I personally recommend the Soraya beads, gentle anal beads massager toy. It's got 8 different modes. It has a bow motion technology, which is modeled after masterful violin playing, which is crazy, like so luxury. And then it also has high grade silicone, which is safe for all areas of your body with regular use. And it can access many different layers of pleasure that you may have never even tried before, such as your P spot if you have a prostate, your A spot, and your G spot. And I just recommend giving it a try, especially if you've never tried any play in the back door before. This will definitely warm you up. It's got 4 different beads that will slowly introduce you to more intense settings and take you where you need to go. And you need to be taken where you need to go this Valentine's. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Brain Rot. As always, we try not to take things too seriously. And if you do have any opinions, political or otherwise, just say them respectfully in the comments and be kind to one another. Because I think maybe that's what's lacking this Valentine season and this political world that we're living in is just kindness. Because at the base of it all, we are all just human beings looking to enjoy life, get naughty, make memories, and create the experience on this earth that will be unforgettable. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Special thanks to Brain Rock producers.